So, Adithya, you've done a lot of interesting things in your life. You've gone to Harvard. You've worked in Boston in one of the biggest impact investing firms in the world. You've probably cracked the most selective fellowship in India. It's the Teach for India fellowship. And you've also worked in probably the biggest design firm in the world, IDEO. But now you actually get to be on a podcast with me.
This is the Kapil Sharma
Is
thing.
this the highlight of your...
He's just done it so many times.
Is this the highlight of your career?
Yes, this is the highlight.
It is the highlight?
Yes.
Okay. This was not at all inspired from Kapil Sharma. I just made this up. But I think what's been interesting over the last sort of few journeys and conversations we've had is it's been with extremely resilient people who have figured out their career, have taken ownership of their career, and have gone all out, and have done this in a very earnest way. What were your sort of, I don't know, top 2 takeaways, and maybe I can share mine as well.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, man. First of all, I think it was great. What a seriously diverse group of people. I think my first takeaway is my favorite parts of this season are when someone's just talking very passionately about what they are doing. I think I love the parts when Aakarsh is talking about geophysics. I think I really like the parts when I think, Adithya is talking about sort of just flow and philosophically how she thinks about her career. I think we had some great bits where Vignesh spoke about I think data science, and a bunch of other people I think just spoke very passionately about what they believe in and what they do. And I think finding something you're passionate about is just such a great life hack that even if it takes you a lot of time and years to figure it out, it's a journey that's worth undertaking.
Right. I think the other thing that sort of came out for me especially was, so this podcast is called Switch, right? What enables that switch in your mind? What came out was the role of a mentor, the role of a support system, the role of appreciation. Like I think a lot of a lot of people talked about how they somebody told them, hey, you did great, and then suddenly they're like, oh, am I that good? Is this my calling?
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting, right?
Yeah.
I think that was one of the big takeaways for me. So I think a note to anybody who's watching this: if you have the opportunity really to appreciate someone much younger, do it.
Yeah.
Because you never know, it might actually help define their career, right?
Yeah.
Something might open up.
Yeah.
Saksham talked about it. All somebody did it was at a morning assembly. Someone said, wow, that was great.
Yeah.
And Saksham's like, oh, maybe there's a career in communications for me.
Yeah.
I thought that was very inspiring.
And Aviroop did the same thing, right? He
Right.
also spoke about how some senior sort of just came up to him and said, this is what you've done. All the crowd that's come here is what you've got. Should we do one final takeaway? What's a third takeaway?
What's yours?
I think mine is that, there's that famous Steve Jobs quote where he says, you only connect the dots backward. I don't think any of these guys connected the dots forward. I think they just did the next most interesting thing to them. But when you listen to them now, talk about their careers, it's beautiful. I could listen to all of these people for much longer than we did the podcast with them. And so I think the takeaway for me and for anyone else who's sort of listening is that don't worry so much about the next step. Don't get obsessed about whether the next step is the right step or the wrong step. Do it, put thought into it, but also don't obsess over it. Eventually, I think you'll look back and you'll be able to just pull a thread through it all, and it'll make sense.
Yeah, that's a good one. And maybe a last one from me as well is, I think the role of a support system. I think when we think about careers, we assume they are ours and ours only. But I feel like we owe, all of us owe a great deal of our careers to a thriving support system that helps us get here, or that has helped us get here. Vignesh talked about his wife, right? And all the good things that his wife supported him with, 2 or 3 jobs that, she keeps like, that was an amazing moment. Ruchika talked about the need for just mental health, like, pause and take a break. It's totally fine to take a break. I think we also heard a little bit about how families have played an important role in getting here. Understanding families, it's an anomaly in India, unfortunately, but I think for those families out there that are out there supporting their kids to actually do all of these different careers and not think that they are completely crazy, I think needs to be celebrated a little bit more often so that it's normalized.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the sort of second takeaway from me too.
Yeah. If you have a solid support system, you can just take more risks. And as Pooja says, risk lene mein hi to maza hai. So, I think this was a great season.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing it with me.
My pleasure.
I think we'll be back for season 2. And that's it. Good job, buddy.
Well, I hope you enjoy, if you're watching this, listening to it, you enjoyed as much as we actually enjoyed putting it together. And thank you. And what's the word? How do the RJs end?
I'm not doing it, so feel free to do what you have to.
Shubh Ratri, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal.